Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Truly appreciate all of your support. Hope you end up having a fantastic holiday weekend. We have to talk about three specific things from last night's game that are huge in terms of implications for the season going forward. But first, of course, we have to say, hey, this is what happens, Golden State. When you cut Kate Martin, you lose to Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever for the very first time. All right, number one, we got to talk about the tale of the different halves, the tale of the different offenses, so to speak. Fever had, 37 points in the first half. Didn't look good at all. Actually had a 7-0 lead to start the game. A couple of read and react plays. Caitlin Clark with 5 quick points. And then it all changed. It all fell apart. And then we saw a very different offense in the second half with 53 points. First half, we saw Stephanie White's offense, the motion offense. We saw Caitlin Clark trying really, really hard to fit herself into it. And after those quick 5 points, you know what? She didn't play well because we saw her trying to force a lot of the things she normally does, but within that offense, and they simply don't go well together. I mean, they simply don't. That is just the bottom line. We see a lot of the Fever, with the dribble and the handoffs around the outside, never ever creating anything. And then we get near the end of the shot clock and we see talented players realizing they're going to have to try and create on their own. And that's where I'm going to give, well, all of them, but I want to specifically mention Kelsey Mitchell because I saw it a couple of times. We all know I love Kelsey as a talent, as a shooting guard. I have some issues with things about her game. I also will say in this offense, I think you see a little more of her trying to force things because the offense doesn't create anything for the players. Gets to the end of the shot clock, they don't have any situation where they create an easy shot, and someone like Kelsey Mitchell, who has that speed, that quickness, that explosiveness, tries to create on her own because otherwise we're getting a shot clock violation. And to that point, I think hopefully what we see, and I think what we saw a little bit last night, is the team buying in a little more to Caitlin Clark's style of offense, to the read and react. It's becoming a little like 2024, right? In terms of what the coach wanted to do, what the players initially wanted to do, and the shift that we saw as the season went along, where the players are realizing, hey, you know what? We fit in to Caitlin Clark's offense better. We perform within Caitlin Clark's offense better. Her playing style elevates the rest of us so that we all play better. It's also more fun. And by the way, this team has more talent than 2024. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see that shift as it goes along. And it's going to be will Stephanie White allow the offense to evolve from what she wants to do, which is really not suited for Caitlin Clark and this team, to what Caitlin Clark wants to do, which is suited to not only Caitlin Clark, but this team. When you allow Caitlin Clark to play the way she is with this talent that she has around her, it elevates everyone. The entire team becomes better to the point of, yeah, I'm going to say title contenders without a doubt, if not title favorites. And it's going to be, is Stephanie White going to realize, step back from her jealousy and what she is locked into as a coach, and be like, hey, you know what? If I embrace this, I let Caitlin be Caitlin, I get on board with that, I'm going to get more of what I want on a personal level in terms of accolades and love and trophies and awards, coach of the year, maybe that title that she wants. She realizes, hey, Caitlin being Caitlin with this team is a lot more likely for Stephanie White to get past that semifinal round into that final round and win a title than it is where we just have these moments where the team doesn't really look good and Caitlin Clark gets fed up and then she starts playing her way. No, just let her play her way from the beginning. Now, to that other point is, I want to talk specifically about Caitlin. And I think a lot of this may be because, one, not getting to play Wednesday, right? I think there was a lot of frustration with Caitlin. I think a lot of the stuff that went on around it was frustrating for Caitlin. And we saw a Caitlin Clark that I haven't seen in a while in terms of everything surrounding her game, right? We saw bits and pieces this year. We saw a coaching staff that tried to rein in what we saw last night, didn't see as much now. I don't know, the calm conversations on the sidelines that from a distance without hearing it don't look like much. Don't know what was said, but I didn't see anything where they tried to stop Caitlin from being Caitlin. And I want to add to that from someone who grew up around sports, playing, coaching, just the entire environment, development, the whole thing. Look, because a lot of people are like, oh, Caitlin has to stop this. Caitlin can't do that. It's enough's enough. All athletes perform at their best within a very specific mental state, right? Some are just ice cold, some are incredibly calm, some calmly trash talk to where if you're the outsider watching the game, you don't even know it's happening. I think Larry Bird is one when I see a lot of videos on him and how he was, man. He is one where you don't even notice it unless you're close enough to hear it. Some loudly trash talk, some get in your face, some wag the finger. Some complain to the refs a lot. That gets them fired up for their own game, right? It's not even always about that call. It's about getting yourself in that mental state to play the way you're capable of playing. Some hype crowds, some need that, some feed off that. Caitlin Clark is the latter of those. She is at her best when she is loudly trash talking to where we can see it in her body language. She is at her best when she is complaining to officials. And look, I'm not saying there's not a line where eventually you go past that and it goes the other way. But that is definitely when she's at her best. And of course, when she's hyping crowds without a doubt, that is simply when she is at her best. So I want to go through a couple of things, and those are the two things. Caitlin Clark's mental state in all those aspects, and we saw that on full display last night. Obviously, the battle of the two offenses, and then there's one more thing I want to get to, but I just want to share a couple of things real quick. I mean, here we saw this, right? People are talking about her start. This is MVP stuff, guys. Hasn't had a game under 20 points. Should have had 10 assists last night. There were some drop passes. I think maybe I don't know. I mean, I think maybe I leave her in for the final 30 seconds to see if she can get an assist at the end there. But, 22 points, 9 assists, 21 and 10, 32 and 10, 24 and 9, 20 and 7. Not scored less than less than 5 points, less than 20 points all season long. I think, let me see, let me just make sure I have it right. I think the only player, let me know in the comments below. I'm pretty sure. Now I'm going by memory because I thought I jotted this down, but I didn't. I believe the only player in WNBA history to start the season with 5 straight 20-point, 5 assist games. And then we also have this players with 75 points and 25 assists over any 3-game span in WNBA history. Caitlin Clark has done that 9 times already in less than 60 games. Sabrina Ionescu did it once. Again, think about the absolute, when we talk about these things, are all-time numbers. And Caitlin Clark is up there in so many of them. I'm saying she is completely different. This is one of the reasons they did not like or embrace Caitlin Clark. She is on an entirely different level than the rest of the league. Absolute domination. And this is with so many things going against her, right? All the foul calls she didn't get going. Still, even to now, there's still a lack of calls with her with freedom of movement. But we all saw 2024, right? Never getting to the line, offenses that don't work for her, all the flagrant fouls, beating her up constantly, all that. And she still does all of this. It's absolutely crazy. And then one thing that I just want to share a couple of highlights before I get to that huge third thing, which has a lot more to do with the title and thumbnail, is people talk about her game, right? And it's not evolving and all this stuff. Yeah, well, I don't know. Do you know anyone else in the WNBA who does things like this? I don't. And I posted this and said, hey, look, when Caitlin Clark plays angry, which, with a chip on her shoulder, which I think she did last night, this league is cooked. This league is absolutely cooked. I just had a couple more I want to share. Let me make sure. Oh, we got to get rid of the sound. And I think I have a couple of angles this that I want to share. Hopefully you're able to see it because this is kind of wild. I think you can see it. Watch her after, because there was stuff going on all game, right? This talk about the trash talking stuff, which we'll get to in a minute as well. But watch Caitlin, right? Watch her turn around. There's the demon, folks. There it is. When that Caitlyn appears, league's cooked. Nothing you can do about it. Watch it again, right? Because they were battling all game, trash talking. Yeah, that's right. She's letting you know. And speaking of, let me see if I can line this up for you, because this is all leading in to what I think is maybe the biggest thing with regard to this season. I think this is the three from the center court circle, by the way. I'll show it to you from another angle. Um, I mean, she is way, way out. And then she's, yep, come on. Love it. You and me, baby. You and me. Yeah, absolutely wild. But, and which leads into something else, which we'll get to here in a second. Let me get it lined up. Let me get it lined up for you. And you can also see the different angle. But then we're getting into what really, really matters that we have not seen all year, or all Caitlyn's career, actually. Uh, Now, here's where you get to see where this is shot from. Watch this. Look where she is, folks. Look where she is. This is almost the half court practice shots to end the practices, right? I mean, obviously she takes one step in, but watch that, right? And there she's talking, you and me, you and, but look also what happened. Look also what happened. And I think I have a closer one so you can see for sure. And this is what I'm leading into. This is what you see on the thumbnail. This is what we've been begging and hoping for, that we have not seen, other than a little bit, of Sophie last year, but Caitlyn didn't play very much. But watch this. They're John. Caitlyn said, you and me. MHA just says, you know what? I'm just going to casually let you know that I am here. I am here for you. You don't want to come to Caitlyn. You don't want to step to Caitlyn. That is not going to end well for you. Do you understand what it is that I am saying? Right. And I think I just want to shout out to Greggy, the 518 on TikTok, for finding this and putting it together. Because right, and you have nonsense, she's gonna clap, and that's cool. Like, I don't have a problem with that. Now he's gonna slow it down so you can really see it. This is the other angle, right? She's like, yeah, here we go. Oh my goodness, wait, you missed it, or I made you miss it. Let me back it up a little bit, right? They call it fouling Kate in there. Now watch after the bucket, right? Because they've been battling all game. The and one, and here it is. There's my demon. There's my demon. You can't be doing that stuff. And then I think I have one more, and this is absolutely huge. This is huge. Wait, I hate this automatic volume stuff when I try and do things on here, but again, watch that. Now, again, taking a shot at Caitlyn, you'll see at the end there's an actual little extra shove and everything, which Caitlyn did not appreciate to end the half. But watch what happens, and you have never seen this before with Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Now watch this, right? Oh, they're going to get into it. They're going to get into it. Hey, you know what? Look at it. Oh, there's Sophie. Here comes Lexi. MHA come running in there. Even A. Look at that. There's an entire watch. MHA coming from the left of your screen. But watch as they walk away, man. This is an entire team, right? Oh, look at that. It's an escort. Caitlyn is on the outside. We've got the entire team saying, yeah, we're just going to, Sophie's got her back. We're just going to, look at that. Have you ever seen anything like that with the Indiana Fever? Absolutely wild. We're just going to escort our star safely to the locker room. Safely to, now look, here's, and she's still upset. Like, yep, sit back on the bench. But here's the thing to that, and this is why I wanted to point this stuff out, because these are things that we have not seen, right? These are things we have not seen. So the biggest thing right now for me, and obviously it's a big question mark, but there's a lot of season to go. If we're seeing players, I think, embrace more and more Caitlin Clark's style of play, and I think you see that. I know they're two different things, but I think you see that in what you saw there at the end, right? I think, okay, we've got all these salaries. We know who elevated us. We understand who our meal ticket is. We enjoy playing the way Caitlin Clark plays. We're better because of it. And because she's winning them over with who she is and her style of play. And remember, she wanted MHA here. MHA wanted to be here because of that. And Caitlin, and you are seeing it with this team come together in a way we have never seen an Indiana Fever team come together. And I think that makes it more likely that we see the shift in the one thing that is the question, and that is what style of offense is going to end up coming to the front and be the offense that dominates how the Indiana Fever play. Because if it is what we saw in the second half, this is the title favorite. I don't care that the Aces are the defending champs. Caitlin Clark is the MVP favorite. I don't care that A'ja Wilson is the defending MVP. That is just simply how it is. If this team plays the way we saw in the second half, and this team continues to come together in the way we saw MHA and then the entire team at the end of the first half, rest of the league is absolutely cooked. Oh, of course, the final thing I would add to that is if we see this Caitlin Clark with the attitude, the feistiness, Indiana Fever, 2026 WNBA champions, period. End of story. Caitlin Clark, MVP. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Truly do appreciate it. I will talk to you